Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. I make a statement on the Global Education Summit, Financing Global Partnership for Education, GPE 2021 to 2025. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 47-1 to make a statement of general topical concern, namely the Global Education Summit, Financing Global Partnership for Education, GPE 2021 to 2025. Honorable Speaker, the United Kingdom and Kenya will co-host a high-level global education summit on 29th to 30th July 2021 in London, UK, to lead global action to educate every child. Honorable Speaker, the summit will be a platform for parties to chart a way forward to transform education systems in partner countries through exchanging best practices, examining the latest evidence, hearing from experts and young people around the world, as well as learning from what works in other sectors. Honorable Speaker, a central feature of the summit will be the ambitious pledges from donors to help the Global Partnership for Education, that is GPE, reach its target of at least $5 billion over 5 years, along with the commitments from GPE partner countries on domestic financing for education. This is critical financing in helping countries transform education systems for more than 1 billion girls and boys in up to 90 countries around the world. Honorable Speaker, coronavirus has worsened the global education crisis with 1.3 billion children, including 650 million girls, out of education at the peak of school closures. Experts warn that many children will never return, particularly as countries experience an economic contraction in the wake of the pandemic. Missing out on education does long-term damage to individuals and communities, with girls particularly at risk. The benefits of school are transformative and multi-generational. A child whose mother can read is 50% more likely to live past the age of 5 and twice as likely to attend the school themselves. Honorable Speaker, even before the pandemic, 9 to 10 school children in low-income countries were unable to read proficiently by the age of 10. Since its creation in 2002, GPE has already contributed to getting 160 million more children in school and doubling girls' enrollment in the countries they work in. The $5 billion funding will ensure that 175 million children can learn in 87 lower-income countries. In the longer term, this investment could add to 164 billion to economies in the developing world, lift 18 million people out of poverty, and protect 2 million girls from early marriage. Honorable Speaker, on March 15, 2020, the Kenyan government abruptly closed all schools and colleges nationwide in response to COVID-19, disrupting nearly 17 million learners worldwide. The closure of institutions not only affected learners and teachers, but it also brought forth numerous economic and social issues, including interruption and loss of learning, education, exclusion, homelessness, nutrition and economic crisis, childcare challenges, and increase in teenage pregnancy cases, financial costs, implication to households, and sexual exploitation, among others. The effects have been more severe for the underprivileged children and their households from the urban poor communities. Honorable Speaker, according to a 2021 report titled Promises to Keep, the impact of COVID-19 on adolescents in Kenya, the impact of COVID-19 on adolescents in Kisumu, Nairobi, Kilifi, Wajir countries revealed that there were approximately 100,000 early marriages, 15 to 19 among the girls in the study. 32% got married after COVID-19 started. 44 got married because of pregnancy. 16 claimed they would not be married if there was no pandemic. Honorable Speaker, it is a worry that the out-of-school trend has tripled. It is clear that 2015 MDGs were not sustainable in terms of outcome. state parties met and made a global promise of leaving no one behind. This promise led to the emergence of the Sustainable Development Goals, which seeks to ensure that every child has an education regardless of socioeconomic background, race, or physical disposition of a child. It is against this backdrop of leaving no one behind and financing education that the International Parliamentary Network for Education, IPNED, was formed. The mandate of IPNED, which I co-chair with Harriet MP UK, seeks to bring parliamentarians together in ensuring that they are advocating for more resources to be diverted to education so that every child has an opportunity to an education. The targets of SDGs 4 can only be realized if all leaders of the world are committed to blowing the trumpet of education financing. President Uhuru Kenyatta has been on the forefront in ensuring equity, inclusivity, and mainstreaming of the hard-to-reach children is realized. The launch of the 2018 sector policy for learners and trainees with disabilities by President Uhuru Kenyatta is a clear manifestation of his support of leaving no one behind. In addressing the lacuna therein, parliamentarians across the globe need to deliberately bring their governments to account and push for increased financing in education. The increase in education financing should start from early childhood and progress to primary, secondary, colleges, and universities. There is need to ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education, leading to relevant and effective learning outcomes by the year 2030 by pushing for 100% transition. Concerted effort is needed from all leaders of the world to ensure that state parties are able to meet their target of every child having an education. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity.